History class is as bland as it usually is. Okay. Now, I'm hesitating really so to skip really at this point to alright, we're gonna just go a little bit to make sure we have context really so. Because this is just after the confrontation with me and the girls outside and we fail very very badly. Is that we fail very hard really so I mean at trying to stand up for her really so. Okay. Procket continues prattling on about some sort of historical event, but most of my attention is on Olivia. She has her hoodie over her head and looks lost in thought. That altercation must have shaken her up more than I thought it would be. A part of me wants to ask if she'll be okay. Dude, really, the last thing that she probably wants right now is for you to check up on her, really, so pop. Even though I'd already asked 3 times today. But the last thing I'd want is to do is prod at her. You wouldn't think what blah 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 blah. Ugh. What are words? Really? What are they? It's like I don't understand them anymore, really, so let's try again, shall we? But the last thing I'd want to do is prod at her, and as I was going to say is that you don't think asking her 3 times already isn't considered prodding, really, so? Soon enough, class nears its end and Olivia uses her accommodation to leave the class early. Besides, we can talk about it after school if she wants to anyways. The more I think about it, the more I realize that I had my first real confrontation with a bully at a school. I'd heard once that when you get into a fight for the first time, you throw up from the adrenaline. No fists were thrown, but I feel about the same right now. I wring my hands together, trying to I wring my hands together to try steadying them. Jeez, I'm a wuss. I stood up to Mia for Olivia, and I end up in this mess. The final class ends, and I'm set free for the day. Stepping out of St. Hammond's main entrance, I'm surprised to see my friends huddled together in a tightly knit group. I usually don't see any of them after school. I always assumed they left as soon as the bell rang. Hey guys, what's going... Iko! Damien looks exceptionally worried as he glances at me. Iko, you believe me, right? Pardon? Olivia's nostrils flare with an exasperated snort. I didn't mean for any of that to happen! What's the matter, Damien? When Mia asked about that nickname stuff from so long ago, I just blurted it out. She didn't say she'd use it for something so unscrupulous. I'm ashamed it took me more than a moment to figure out what was happening. Guess Damien feels culpable for what Mia said. But why? You don't know what that word means. Who cares? Inko, really, I didn't mean for any of that to happen. Hey, I believe you, man. Your heart was in the right place. Olivia told us what happened with Mia, calling her some nickname. Damien leans back over an unresponsive Olivia, hands spread in supplication. She said you were there, too. I was, yeah. Olivia, you loved that nickname way back when we were kids. Damien's words were dismissed with a roll of her smoky eyes. He really didn't mean it, Olivia. I know already! For a split second, she bore row upon row of sharp teeth before gnashing her maw in frustration. Olivia's nostrils flare out with a huff of hot breath again, and I could practically see everything from her day finally weigh upon her. You were just being you again, Damien. Sometimes I wish you weren't, but whatever. There's a grittiness to her voice once more, but she continues on. She holds her canteen up to her lips, but drops it immediately. Empty again. The grit in her voice is back, but she presses on. And the nickname is just that. A nickname. I don't want to hear it again. Especially from her, and especially if it's just to get under my skin. Olivia stares at Damien for a while before breaking contact to glance at Liz and I. Why not? Wait, did I say that? Why did I ask that? It just kind of came out. Liz notices Damien still organizing his thoughts. Seeing as neither of the others are going to answer coherently, she sighs. Well, I wasn't around for this, but when they were freshmen in middle school, Damien and Olivia would take the bus every weekend to an arcade in the city. I guess he came up with the nickname around then and it stuck. That's half right, but I didn't come up with it. I brought a chunk of change for us to play stuff with each other. A match on just about anything there was a quarter, probably still is. But I don't think I won even once. Once she stood to win something, it's like a switch went off in her head. I'd never seen Olivia get like that. Some of the teenagers were watching too. They saw everything. A couple challenged her once I ran out of cash, and sure enough, she ended up clearing house all afternoon. It was all she talked about at school all week until we could go back for more. Only took like a month for her to be recognized as some local champion. Sometime along the way, people started calling her Hot Wheels. Don't remember really who or when. But I do know it's proof she's got that fire in her. Wow, yeah, that's... I had fun back then. Guess I forgot I wasn't supposed to bring it up. Have things really changed that much? And you did. Again. Damien hisses to himself. Sorry. Just can't help yourself. But you're right. That was the best time of my life. The name Hot Wheels belongs to 10-year-old me. Not current me. Hey, that's a great story. To be recognized so well that you get a cool nickname? It sounds amazing. Being a champion, being a winner. Why all the disdain for the title? I'm not. What? I'm not a winner anymore. Because you don't go to the arcade anymore? If it's the one I'm thinking of, it's only like a half hour away. Olivia looks at Liz like she just recommended everyone watch the newest Netsticks anime. Well, if the story's anything to go by, I'd like to see you be a winner again. Olivia's breath seems to hitch for a moment. And I'm sure these guys want to see it too. Dave is the one that dragged you to our lunch table all this time, right? Look at him, he's nearly keeled over because he's afraid of losing that part of you. And Liz? I think I'd like to see why you and Damien are really close friends. Yeah. And just as quick as I gained the bravado to speak up, my words left me immediately. I think I accidentally put Olivia on the spot there. Whoops. Well, her tail rolls along the ground a bit in contemplation. If you guys really cared that much about it, I wouldn't mind it from you guys. All at once, Damien lights up. Yes! Alright, Hot Wheels is back! You guys now refers to Liz and Inko. Damien's shoulders drop for a moment, but he quickly recovers. Hey, for getting the name out again, we should go visit the arcade together sometime. I'd rather not. Okay then, how about a better name, like Death Roll? Olivia swings her tail around to trip him, but he's fast enough to jump over it. Alright, looks like things are still the same really for this as far... Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and skip, see what else comes up. Okay, gonna next day. This is the art contest has announcements. We see the trouble that we're in. Okay, so this is where we then discover Olivia's switching of our art piece for hers, really so, and getting us blah, 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 blah. Us getting in the trouble as far as like the art contest goes, really so. So, I'm gonna do a quick save. Make sure to find the one that we have not actually gotten to yet, so. I'm trying to remember, really so. I think we had said that I can't hate you, really so. So, why do all this? Okay, that ends up in a score for Inko, and it is new material, okay. I'm gonna hate myself for thinking this, but she still hasn't really told me why she did it. I don't want to push the issue too hard, but if not now, when? I just want to know, why go through all the trouble? What were you trying to accomplish? I immediately regret my words as the pained grimace on her face drives home the mistake she's made. Even if I'm in the right to ask, I feel like the villain for pressing her, but out of respect for Olivia's feeling, I stand steady, because to back down would be to denigrate her like all those people in her past had done. I wanted to see what people thought of my art without knowing that I was the one who made it. Why would you want that? Isn't it obvious? It's always the same thing. Her voice takes a deeper pitch. Oh wow, you're so talented in spite of your condition. This time it's a higher, shriller tone. Amazing! It's like you aren't disabled at all! Her voice returns, this time weighed down with contempt. For all their kind words, it always came back to those empty platitudes. It never felt like they cared about me or my interests. It was always just blind praise because I'm doomed to never measure up to the same level of expectations. The worst of it came when I found out I couldn't even fail on my own. The sound of her talons tearing more paper on the floor enhances her heated words. Even when I intentionally do something wrong, someone's always there to pick up after me to assure me it's good in certain lights. She rips more of the page with every sentence. These are just old sketches from through the year. Nobody else has to live with that paranoia. That every positive word spoken and action taken to help you out is just someone acting out of obligation or insecurity. It got so bad at one point, I was almost being forced to accept these freaking accommodations. I just ended up... She drops what little remains of the pages unceremoniously. Cutting everyone out. I'm never going to come out on top, and I'm never going to be allowed to fail. Nobody's allowed to feel anything but pity for me when they meet me, and guilt when they even consider not just giving me a free pass. Nobody has any agency, and that's just how things are. The bell rings from a distance, signaling the end of lunch. Within my mind, I can vividly imagine the sounds of our classmates grumbling complaints as they shuffle to class. Instead, I choose to listen to the rain, how the soft pitter-patter of droplets land atop my umbrella before slipping gently to the ground around us. Internalizing that sound, alongside the dimmer ambience and overall wetness, has turned the tiny park I'm accustomed to into a near-alien local. I wonder to myself if this is why Olivia came out here. In a small way, all of her work seems to revolve around average places, but altered with unnatural and beautiful overlayings. Creating from the familiar, and yet adding in the fantastical. I look over to Olivia, who also seems to be lost in thought. That does sound pretty tough. You going to be alright? No. Honestly, that's only the start of it. But I don't want to. No, you wanted to know, right? I want to tell someone. Anyone. Right now it's just Iodakin. I'm sure he's sick of it. Alright. This crap even affects my family. You say that like you don't think they are. They aren't, though. I can't change that. She sighs. You're right. I should be a bit more grateful to them. But at the same time, it's... like, I know all too fucking well I could just hang out at the Pains for as long as I need to after graduation. They're just too nice to not, and the arrangement with my actual father could probably last indefinitely. I could just detach from society and leech off of everyone around me forever, and it'll still just be pity and guilt. But you saw them at the pool party. They love you. I know, and I hate it, and I want to love them back, but I just can't. Not now. I've already wasted so much. Who am I to suddenly turn around in my last year? I want to just get out of their hair, not waste their time anymore. Otherwise, I'll be the one hurting them, wasting all their patience and kindness for years like I already have, and I'd never be in the wrong. Who the fuck wants a free ride through life like that?
That's all I have waiting for me, realistically. Damn it. Why am I telling you all of this?
Olivia clutches her throat. Her voice has gotten strained and weak. It hurts to speak at all, but she's just been letting it all out. Hell, what am I doing just watching? I'm such an idiot. I rummage through the insides of my backpack again until... Ah, here it is. Pulling out a water bottle, I offer it to her. She eyes it on the ground indifferently, then goes to drink it. The whole bottle is finished in one go, and she drops it in the growing pile of trash.
Thanks.
I give a silent nod. She looks off in the distance again, picking up her train of thought.
That's why I had to do it. I had to know if I really was good at something for once. Really genuinely good. No false praise. No parasocial relations where I'm verbally filleted so everyone else can feel better for it. I had to know my art was real. That I could be something for real. That I have a real way out. Iodakin assures me all the time it's good enough. Fuck, why didn't I listen to him? He probably knows everything by now anyways. He usually does.
Honestly, taking all of this in at once is challenging to digest, to say the least. You said you expected to get caught?
Yeah, I said I wanted to be. I wasn't even sure other people would see it if you caught it fast enough and switched it back, thinking it was a bug. Then you started getting all this praise out of nowhere.
Yeah, I did. Seems a bit sad in retrospect.
Yeah, around then it really settled in just how badly I messed up. I tried to get you to notice it by showing me the submission yourself. And you just go to the office to get it changed. Nobody would get hurt. End of story.
I figured that was probably what she was trying to do before, in telling us before earlier, when the girls were praising us for our artwork, that she wanted to see the submission, but unluckily for her, really, so, is that for the submissions had been closed and we couldn't even get to look at it, really, so. That would have, it indeed was her trying to, like, more or less fess up to what had happened, really, so, without having things get blown much further out of hand, really, so. But then again, is that, I guess possibly hearing just the praise that he was already getting enough was more or less of evidence for her, really, then at that point, that her art was good enough, that it was real, that, using her words, really, so. And so, at that point, she got what she wanted, and then she started to feel guilty for what she was doing, and then wanted to rectify things before things got out of hand as they did now.
But of course, you still had your own saved. You're always just so prepared for anything.
She gestures to the crushed water bottle.
The weeks go by, you get more praise. I got more nervous. Then today, and...
Olivia's hands finally fell into her lap, limp and spent.
Here we are.
It's my turn to say something, I guess. I just don't know how to process all this. It's not like friendships come with instructions. My own thoughts are muddled, pushing me to find some way to comfort the girl before me. And yet to comfort her would be to demean her like people have done in the past. It's so confusing, and frustration and pity mix haphazardly in my stomach. It's nauseating. Pity for the girl before me that has wronged me, but not out of real malice. Frustration at myself, because Olivia was right, having unveiled an uglier side of me I wasn't aware of. Okay, here, this is interesting. Okay, so now, this is a new decision, really, so, because this is not one we had before, when we, when we just decided to just go ahead and comfort her, really, so. Because, I think maybe back then in our decision is that comforting her had resulted in an Olivia point, really, so. I can't say for certain. Okay, but this is indeed completely new territory, really, here, so we're just gonna go ahead and give this a save now. So, we have the decision then here to press no further on Olivia or let her fail. Now, the thing is that if we're on Olivia's side, if we really want to, okay, in a strange roundabout way, with everything that she just said, is that letting her fail would show her that we are listening to her, and that she wanted something to happen, is that she wanted to either succeed or fail, instead of just getting stuck in this limbo of everyone just placating her and just giving her false praise or saying, oh no, it's okay because, she's different and that, she needs the pass, really so. But press no further on Olivia would just leave things silent and possibly just be as disappointing as well. So honestly, I think the better decision in this situation is to let her fail, but this will probably result in something that would be more or less a quote-unquote worse ending for us. At least I'm suspecting right now at this point. We're gonna go ahead and go with it then, so okay. Okay, so there was no score change with that, but all of this is new. My thoughts land on what Olivia said earlier in the conversation. You're going to tell Principal Scalar? Olivia flinches a bit.
The principal? Why?
About what you did. You said you expected to get caught.
We can't tell them officially. Anything but that.
Olivia shifts uncomfortably in her spot. Why not? Well, I mean, it is best that she owns up to it, really so. Ben himself should already have it covered at this point, since we had already talked to him first about anything, realizing that it wasn't our submission, and that he was just going to use his leverage to just go ahead and say that it was an error in order to actually try and erase the entire incident, more or less. So, still, is that she still should probably fess up, honestly, if this is what she really wants.
If they found out, it's all over.
Isn't that a bit extreme?
Honestly, it'll be the end for you, too.
It's my turn to flinch. Liv is getting worked up again. New fear starts spiking through her eyes. I don't need to ask. Olivia answers anyways.
You didn't talk about it until now, after it's nearly guaranteed to win. With the stakes, it looked like you were complicit. Or worse, like it was your idea. You'd be a fraud.
There's that word again. Fraud. No. That word all over my record in senior year? When I'm about to have to find a career? Fraud. But even so, isn't it the right thing to do? I can handle it. Don't worry about me.
Please, Inko, no! There's more! I told you I'm not eligible to even enter! I already won before. I got the notoriety and money. The winning piece is featured on the cover of Volcadera Monthly and even gets an article. That's more than a scholarship. It's a foot in the door. They can't do anything about the money. It's long gone. But if everyone knows what I did, and it gets to those magazines...
She clutches the sleeves of her hoodie and stares me dead in the eye.
I need it to graduate. I fucking hate it, but I need it. That's my only way out. My only way to actually go somewhere.
You're putting all your eggs into that one basket?
There's no other baskets. I just can't risk it. I know I just carried on about why does nobody let me fail, but this, it's serious. They can't know. Please, Inko. I can't lose everything over this mistake. I just can't.
I can't. Fraud. God, not that. But isn't it? Olivia grabs the sides of my jacket and yanks herself close. The motion tips the umbrella over. It slides a few feet away in the breeze. It makes her almost lose her balance and fall over onto me. Her breathing is erratic.
Inko, listen to me! Please, I can't lose this. I can't be doomed to be nothing. This is all I have. You can't go to someone about this. I'm begging you.
She's tucking me towards the ground, closer to her, my jacket starting to tear. I can feel her anxiety by now. Her hands are quivering with fear as they grip tightly at my coat.
It's my fault, okay? Not yours. You don't need to make it your problem. Please.
Okay. Nobody else has to know. It'll have to be our little secret. Olivia exhales and lets go. All at once, she slumps down. I have to hold out my arms to stop myself from falling too. Olivia ends up slumped over my lap, sideways. Hey, you okay?
No. I'm really not.
The Gator girl tries to push herself up from my lap. Her attempt only ended up with her twisting on my legs and turning her face and chest upward. She must be really exhausted, even her attempt to blow her wet hair from her face is unsuccessful.
God damn it, is this what it's all come to? I got away with it too. Fuck, I'm just like Ben.
You have the energy to get up?
Not yet.
Olivia? What's wrong with Ben? How are you like him? She exhales hard.
Ben... It's all his fault. All of it! If not for him, I wouldn't be this thing. Some worthless heap, unable to do anything with nothing and nobody. None of this would have happened.
This sounds like something I shouldn't be prying into. You don't need to tell me.
Yeah, I don't. But I did this to you, so I should be honest.
Can you get off my legs first? I'm starting to lose feeling.
You too? Fine. Can you help me up at least?
I take Olivia's shoulder and help her back into her sitting position by me. She just leans back against my shoulder.
Sorry. It's been a long day.
I guess it's fine for now.
Where do I even start? That Ben. I don't even remember how we became friends. But we definitely hung out a lot in my last year of middle school. He didn't care that I was in the chair, didn't treat me any different. He was cool.
What's the issue then? Olivia bops my chin with her skull.
Let me finish. He was cool. But in freshman year, back then, Ben was only in the student council as a secretary. I was looking forward to that yearly art show. Worked all summer for the perfect piece, Dreamscape.
Disdain was heavy in her tone as she said its name. Yeah, it won.
It wasn't supposed to.
Once again her eyes were teary, though with rage this time. My mouth clicked shut as she glared at me. Her eyes closed and her tone was once again sorrowful.
Ben started advertising himself as my friend, like it was some part of his own personality.
The sigh that escapes her carries years of her repressed anger.
Even his friends started doing it too, like being around me was an act of charity that made them better. He eventually told me straight up, I'll give him that.
Her voice shifted again, but this time instead of a voice to lampoon someone, it was in an eerie facsimile to Ben.
I'm universally down on my luck. Not even a week later, people started walking up to give praise to my submission. It was the first time in a while I'd gotten a compliment for my work. I thought my submission was going to win. It was exciting. Until Damien showed me an article in the school newsletter written by a certain student council secretary. Half of it was basic crap about the art submissions. The other half was about me. Ben had written the longest segment about the talented poor girl in the wheelchair and practically worshipped me for my determination. Surprise, surprise, it wins by a landslide.
Ah, I see. This makes even more sense, though, why she would have such contempt, really, then, for her piece, really, then, so... Because it indeed is a good work, but the fact that it got boosted and given those words, really... Wow. I'm disappointed in Ben, really, so... I didn't think it was actually something like that. I had figured that they... I think I had stated this, really, so before in, like, the first playthrough, really, so... That Ben and Olivia had been an item, really, so, but apparently it wasn't even that, really, so. I guess this would kind of like, is that this, I mean, this is actually worse, really, so, and anyway, she's not finished yet, though, so.
Even when my piece won, all I could remember was that feeling of just being handed a victory as charity. My whole summer, all that effort just overshadowed. And for what? A safety net that I didn't earn. He really thought I was going to thank him. That's the worst part, honestly. As if I would after using me as a stepping stone to climb the social ladder. I couldn't take it anymore. I told him to get out of my life and he just gave me this look. I'll never forget it. Genuine confusion. Like I was an alien for being upset. But what he said, this is your only chance of succeeding out there. I wanted to just give it all up. But by then, the money, the exposure, his fucking safety net. I just took it. He was right. He was right. And I hate it. I really, really, really fucking hate it.
So that's what's between Ben and Olivia. I figured it was something, but sheesh.
After that, I just couldn't. I shut everything out. Everyone out. Everyone was fake. Everyone didn't want to know me. Just what I exist as. Even my own family. Hell, it's all his fault. All of it. Well?
Well, what?
That's it. That's the truth. I just want to graduate and get away from here. From him. He ruined my life. Because of him, I'm not Olivia. I'm Olivia, the poor, sad cripple. That title is forever fixed to my name.
Come on, that's not true.
You're right. It's not.
You're Olivia.
No, that's also not it. I'm not Olivia. I'm God's funniest joke.
I nudged the umbrella back over to us. It goes back into its spot propped up between us, recreating the canopy shielding us from the elements. Olivia looks to me to gauge a reaction. That was the sort of speech given by someone that's had years to think about it and hold it in. And it was one she's been waiting to give to anyone willing to listen, if she could just trust them. All of her pent-up angst against the guy that ruined her life. Released at the moment she just couldn't take it anymore. It can't get much worse than this for her, but she trusts me. What she needs to hear right now is... And here we have, oh wow, okay, we have another choice really to make. Wow, we really missed out on quite a lot really with this whole interaction. I mean, it was certainly an emotional moment, but good grief, I had no idea really or to suspect that there was so much more hidden to this. But, you know, we have unlocked the Ben story really, so just gonna do this for a moment. Turn. So let's see. Our choices are: I promise I'll be a good friend to you, or is that you can still take back the reins of your life and own your mistakes. Now, here's the thing then, so. I promise I'll be a good friend to you is that, although Inko may very well mean it at this point, we have to remember then as well is that Inko himself has not really had much quote-unquote experience with being a friend. So, because with as often that he's moved around is that any sort of friendships that he's made have been surface level themselves. And so therefore, it's a little bit hard to glean what he would actually truly mean if he just goes more like on his own experience. Now, this here is that this would certainly be more of like the Inko support route, really, so that you can still take back the reins of your life and own your mistakes, really. So we're not. It's already been established is that we are not going to reveal the mistake that's happened here. Is that we're not going to rat ourselves out because it would hurt us as well as her, if we're just being completely serving ourselves in self-interest, which, I mean, honestly, that's not my goal here, really, with this, so certainly not what I would be aiming to do, really, so. Now, this here is that this honestly does feel empty, really. But this does have weight to it, so we're gonna go with this. Show that we actually do support her, really, so. Yep, that's a score for Olivia. So, I take my sunglasses off and lean forward, placing a hand on her shoulder. Wait, he takes his sunglasses off? Are we gonna, by chance, possibly see his eyes? She takes a moment to register the new side and looks right at me, anticipating whatever I'm about to say. You're not a joke, Olivia.
I appreciate you trying and all, but it doesn't matter. The damage has been done. All that shit is what made me into a nihilist.
I wouldn't say you're a nihilist, Olivia. Plus, I don't think that's what the word means. You still enjoy some things.
Got a better word? Well, there you go.
But that's besides the point. Ben did something horrible. But he didn't take your agency.
Are you saying that I ruined my own life? Is that it?
Annoyance bubbles up within me as she argues back. She wanted to get caught in the act. Yet Olivia looks at me as if I just spat in her face.
Just what the hell are you getting at, Inko?
What am I getting at? The fact that you can't keep using Ben's shitty choices as a crutch. Exactly. That's the thing then, is that's what, because as so far as just learning about this story of like what happened between her and Ben is that she has been using it as quote unquote more or less a kind of excuse to like let herself live like this, or to like paint herself as more of like having this persecution complex. I'm not sure if that's completely the right word to say, really, though. But, see, that's the thing as well, is that Inko has more or less hit it on the money. Is that she is letting that moment, the betrayal of Ben, completely define the rest of her life, and the way that she's choosing to live right now is that she's trying to prove against that, really, so. Honestly, okay. Okay, I'm trying to find the best way to explain this, really, so, because, and that's a task in and of itself, because, how I am with my own words, really, so, I'm not always the best with it, but Inko is right, is that she is using Ben's choices as a crutch, is that she needs to, quote-unquote, let it go, and look at what else she has around her, is that she has a family that loves her. She has a teacher who's supportive of her artwork and of her. And is that she has also friends like Liz and Damien who have been by her side throughout these years to try waiting for her to get back out of her shell, and especially Damien, who knows how she is and has been waiting, hoping for her to actually come back out again, really then. And here we have also Inko as well, the guy who's on the outside, who is saying that her work indeed is actually worth of value, and that she herself is worth of value. Is that she needs to get an entirely new perspective. She has to let go of her anger and resentment and be able to move on. That is where she will actually find healing. But then again, they may just be touching on this really so, and I apologize if I've seemed like off base really so, or if I'm not exactly making sense really so, but as I'm thinking about what I just said, is that it seems to make sense in my head, really so. But anyway, yeah, I'm getting us really off track, really. So we're gonna go ahead and continue. So you can't keep using Ben's shitty choices as a crutch. Her breath catches. You need to take responsibility for your own life, who you are, and what you want to be. My words catch Olivia off guard. And they kept coming, unbidden now. You say that you're a nihilist, yet you draw these amazing pieces that reflect these realistic fantasy worlds. And you say that no one wants to know you for you, but you know you have the pains, Iadakin, Liz, me. Can you really blame any of that on Ben? Even the art contest. Ben didn't yank some evil string of fate and make you swap out the submission. You made yourself do it. I know it's hard. I have trouble with this too, but please, for all of us, take responsibility for your feelings, Olivia. Oh, shit. Damn it, mouth. My tirade has left Olivia staring at me, mouth hung open, aghast at what I had said. I hiss in realization and try to backtrack. Sorry, that was... Fuck you! Stopping completely, Olivia's head raises from my shoulder and she glares at me. Her eyes are heartbroken. They're enraged. They're looking for something to lash out at. But they're trusting. Fuck you for being right. I know all that, damn it. And you're the second to say it. Her eyes water and her head returns to my shoulder. Damn it. Damn it all, Inko. I'm stunned as she presses further against me, even using her arms to tuck her legs closer. You and Iadakin had... Fine. You're right, but... How do I start? I have no idea what I should do. Her voice sounds so weak, but there's a conviction hidden within it. Honestly, she should have just mauled me for what I said. It's what she wants. I can do this. Well, What do you think is wrong right now? You'll have to be more specific. Alright. What about Damien and his family? She hums in thought. And then there's Liz, too. All of them would probably like to hear your thoughts. Yeah. What would I say, though? Whatever you're feeling? Hell, just being more open in general would be something. I can feel her frowning, but also nod against my shoulder. Fine. What else? Mr. Iadakin? She scoffs. He probably already knows. What you're thinking? Yeah. He reads me like a book. But he'd probably like to hear you say it. Yeah. He would. And? And... me too. You got your turn. You've told me just now, but I'd like to hear more about you. You're my friend. Alright. Starting now. I can hear her rumbling growl before she sighs. I'm sorry, Inko. For all the shit I've put you through since you got here.
for being a really shitty friend. For you having to put up with me.
I chose to be your friend, Olivia, so don't apologize for that. Olivia looks up at me through the corner of her eye. Ben can't take your agency, and you can't take mine. I'm choosing this.
You're silly.
Her words were strained, and not from lack of water. The regret in her voice was raw, along with the honesty.
Thanks.
And I forgive you. And once again, silence. I fumble with my sunglasses, debating whether I should bother with them, given the rain. Might as well, I guess. They are a prescription, after all. We just lay back, listening to the patter of rain against our little tent. Just her and I, secluded from the world that's done so much to crush her. Man, she's really leaning against me. I crane my neck so I can turn and look at her. She looks so at peace now, even with the smeared mascara and wet hair. I'm starting to lose feeling in my arm, though. And watching her like this is... Wait, was that a snore? I guess she would be pretty tired. It's been a long day for both of us. Even if it's only fourth period. Did I do alright? Things turned out pretty okay, but I'm anxious. The best I can do is be there for her. In this case, it's letting her have my shoulder for a bit. Pressed up against me. My eyes slide closed, and I try to lose myself in the pitter-patter of the rainfall.
Oh my god.
Olivia jerks herself up and starts coughing into her fist.
Fuck. How long?
About 5 minutes, probably.
Jeez. Sorry.
You know, I remember when you got onto me for just sitting near you back at the party.
Shut up!
Looks like you're improving a bit. Olivia bonks the umbrella, making it splash a bit onto me. Hey!
Anyway.
Olivia stretches her arms. Things go quiet again. Olivia finally breaks the silence.
I know you say you forgive me and all, but I still feel like shit for putting you through all this. Now everyone's going to expect you to be skilled at painting. They'll call you a fraud.
Oh, yeah. I was trying not to think about it.
Damn it. It's all my fault.
Olivia rests her arms over her knees, and I'm surprised she manages to bury her long snout in them. An idea hits me. What have you taught me for real? Olivia raises her head from her arms.
Taught you?
Painting! For real! It's like you say, I have expectations to fulfill. Would you teach me how to paint like you do?
I don't know.
Tell you what, I'll forgive you if you teach me.
You already said that.
Olivia looks down in contemplation.
Alright. I'll teach you how to paint. But you should know, I'm a lousy teacher.
You've seen my work in class. I'm a lousy student. I got a feeling it'd work out.
Hey, don't make it weird.
Yes, Professor Halford.
Stop making it weird!
I chuckle as I'm playfully shoved by her. After everything was said and done, things became quiet. Beneath the solace of my umbrella, we relaxed together. At least until Olivia begins shifting uncomfortably. I sit and watch as she takes her calves and shifts them to her side with one hand. Her tail comes around and presses into the paper-filled floor beneath her, keeping her upright as she starts to lean forward. Finally, with the strength of her tail and one arm, Olivia lifts her hips from the floor and swings her shins fully beneath her. She smiles as she kneels over me.
You just gonna sit there?
Crap, I guess I was gawking stupidly. It's just so fascinating, seeing the girl maneuver herself in these odd yet well-practiced ways. I'm kind of jealous, actually. I wish I had a tail to do some of the things she could. I pressed my hands down on the floor and pushed myself up. I don't know why I had thought to stand, but instead I shifted myself to a kneeling position too. We're face to face now. Aww, they still hug. Good. For a split second I feared the worst as Olivia drew me into a hug. I don't know what she would do. But this. I like this. For how strong her arms are, how they're wrapped around my chest feels exceptionally tender. My own arms have enveloped her, returning the embrace in a similarly soft way. And as her arms loosen, I draw back, though I don't want to take my hands off her. That was nice.
Don't make it weird.
Sorry about that. Through the sound of rainfall hitting the umbrella, my ears suddenly pick up on the noise of what sounds like squeaking. I look down and see that there's something shuffling in Olivia's pocket. A little beast emerges from its hiding spot with a squeaky yawn, to which Olivia offers her hand for it to use as a platform.
Hey, little guy. Nearly forgot about you. Had a nice nap?
That's a rat!
Oh, right. You two haven't met each other. Inko, this is Guts. Guts, meet Inko.
Hi, Guts. I awkwardly wave at the apprehensive-looking rodent. Olivia lifts Gus to her shoulder gracefully, like her hand is an elevator for him. You brought him to school?
Well, yeah. I just really needed him today since, all the craps that's happened.
She gives Gus a few scritches under his chin.
I bring him sometimes when things get rough.
And nobody noticed?
You haven't.
Touché.
Iodakin did, once. He just told me to not let him run around the school, otherwise it could be considered a health hazard or something.
The tardy bell rings out in the distance. We're late for our next classes. I am sure Iodakin will understand. We should probably get back to class. Here, hold this. I give Olivia the umbrella so she and the rat can stay dry while I go fetch the wheelchair. By now, it's settled some into the mud. This wheelchair has definitely seen better days. After dusting off the dirt and pulling water the best I can, I make my way back.
Thanks.
She offers the umbrella back, but I make sure to hold it above her. I keep the wheelchair steady with one hand as Olivia climbs into the seat, using her tail to help herself up. We stand in the rain in silence for a moment, only sharing content glances.
So, what do we do about the contest now?
That's a good question. Ben was there when I saw my name on the painting. He already went to tell someone. So like you said, no harm, no foul.
What about your own submission? I ruined it.
I scratched the back of my head. It wouldn't have won anyway. It's just a picture.
Oh. I thought it was pretty okay.
Hearing those words from Olivia sends a strange flash of heat to my face. It's not unpleasant, but again, those honest words from her really do cut through me for some reason. Thanks. A loud squeak draws my eyes to Guts as he stands atop Olivia's shoulder. You too? A wry smile stretches across Olivia's face.
I think it means Guts is actually saying it's so-so.
Hey!
Cut him some slack, Guts. Ego didn't have any time to make anything for the contest.
He's got some high standards.
Yep, that's why I've gotten so good.
The sheer absurdity of it. I don't know which of us broke first, but our laughter fills the air, heard only by us as the rainfall cuts off all other noise. So, now what?
I don't know. I don't want to go yet. Still pretty worn out.
Worn out. A smile crosses my face as a wicked idea comes to mind. Well, too bad.
What?
I walk around behind Olivia, grinning like a mad idiot.
Inko, what are you doing? Inko? Inko!
Her head tries to follow me as I stand right behind her wheelchair. I figured that pushing your chair around is really tiring, so how about I help you out? Olivia blushes and looks away.
Fine, but just for today.
Returning to the campus was certainly awkward. Passers-by shoot us looks. It's not the most common scene to see a girl in a wheelchair just roll on in sopping wet and tracking mud in. More likely, though, it was because said girl had taken to using my umbrella to hide herself from those looks. She was already extremely red in her face. It was a conundrum: drop the umbrella and let people see her, or keep it up and draw more attention. I shall name it the Nito Theorem. She's gonna kill me if I ever attempt to publish it. By making our way back to Olivia's current class, she simply shook her still-concealed head. I didn't really have much of a choice. For all that I knew of the girl, her last classes were all on the upper levels. And she was in possession of the elevator key. And I was in possession of the weakest knees here in St. Hammond, at least according to Coach Sully. So I wheeled her to my current photography class. On the way over, she keeps bending her head back to peek at me, like she's making sure I'm still there. Knocking on his closed door, the pterosaur professor didn't even bat an eye at the poorly hidden girl. He simply stepped aside and let us through. Ben was looking our way, but I chose to pay him no mind. After everything I heard. Olivia didn't even register he was here. She simply rolled herself to the back of the classroom and threw a door into what I'd always guessed was Iodakin's supply closet. You know what? I'm an idiot. It's a dark room, isn't it? The stares of my other classmates abated thankfully as our teacher continued his lecture. Taking my own seat, I focused on Iodakin. As much as I could, at least. My muddled thoughts kept me distracted the whole period. Just before the bell rings, Iodakin stares me dead in the eye. He points a stern finger directly at me, then to the floor to signal, "You, stay."